ready to go toe-to-toe for the first time since that heartbreaking Game 7. The Astros and the Dodgers on a beautiful night from Dodger Stadium. What an epic World Series it was. Astros won their first World Championship in their franchise history. The Dodgers falling a game short, looking for that first title since 1988. The first time ever that two teams face off in a World Series, and then the next season face off alone in first place. Joe Davis or Hershiser. Alana Rizzo joins us in a moment. We've been looking forward to this series for a while, and here in Game 1 it'll be Justin Verlander for the Astros and Alex Wood for the Dodgers.
These two are going to go at it. This is a fantastic series with those two starting pitchers starting it off, and they don't have to find any emotion at all. This two teams will look across the field from each other, and they will see last year's World Series in the rearview mirror.
And it's a really good matchup for this first game.
Oh, it sure is. You know what? With Verlander, the way he's throwing the ball, he's the best interleague pitcher in baseball. Had a pretty good World Series, too, and Alex Wood in his last 8 starts, 6-0.
All right, we've got Game 1 after the Dodgers collected 21 runs last night to set a stadium record, banging 7 home runs, the most they've hit in this park in 12 years. First pitch between the Dodgers and the Astros coming up. Picture perfect night for baseball. Dodgers and Astros. Couple of first place teams going head to head tonight. And before first pitch, we go down to the field with Alana, brought to you by El Pollo Loco.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. For Andre Ethier's retirement ceremony, Jason Bateman joked that this is Game 8 of the World Series. And while these two teams are the same that were in the Fall Classic, the rosters and the lineups look a bit different. The Astros without a couple of their key cogs, if you will. Jose Altuve is out with the knee. Carlos Correa dealing with a back issue. Brian McCann also dealing with the knee issue, while the Dodgers have also lost Corey Seager for the year, but have added Manny Machado and Brian Dozier. Dozier not in the lineup against Verlander tonight, but certainly available off of the bench. Same two teams, a bit of a different look.
All right, Alana. And they'll face off with Alex Wood in this series opener. Wood for the Dodgers, Verlander for the Astros in one of the more highly anticipated interleague series on the Major League schedule all year. Take a look at the Astros lineup, brought to you by 76. For those missing pieces, this is what it looks like. George Springer will lead things off. The former Dodger, Josh Reddick, bats second in left field. Alex Bregman has been the best hitter in the American League by many measures over the last month or so. Yuli Gurriel, the first baseman, batting cleanup. J.D. Davis is at third in the lineup because of the injuries, with Marwin Gonzalez at second. Martin Maldonado, the Dodgers have already seen a couple of times this season. He was just traded over from the Angels, and Jake Marisnick just called up a couple days ago. Look at the numbers for Alex Wood over his last 8 starts. 6-0 with a 2.61.
He's turned around his 2018, throwing the ball very well. The strike percentage has not changed, but the chase percentage has started to change. He's doing a better job expanding the plate, getting hitters to fish, getting a lot more ground balls, and especially with the changeup, which has always been a key to his arsenal.
Wood faced these Astros in the World Series a couple of times, was very good, and he's starting to show signs of that over the last couple of months here. After that 3-start stretch where he had an ERA around 10. He's ironed things out and looking as good as he has all year. Dodgers trying to win their 3rd in a row and facing an Astros team that is in first place by a wide margin, but has lost 6 of its last 9. George Springer climbs in, and off we go with a bouncing ball foul. I mentioned the World Series outings for Alex Wood. Started game 4, took a no-hitter into the 6th, and finished it giving up just 1 run over 5 2/3. The 1 run came in a homer from the man he's facing here, Springer. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Some games in the regular season, you have to find ways to get the adrenaline pumping. These uniforms, looking across the field, no way tonight. These players will be locked in.
Closed captioning tonight brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Yeah, you talked last night about the jerseys that you lost to in your World Series defeats. Still have a hard time looking at them. Springer muscles one in foul ground. Muncy won't get there.
That brings back bad memories, and then you even see the faces of some of the players that maybe got a hit off you or pitched well against you, and it just becomes real personal when you get to your ultimate dream as an individual, as a team, as a city, as an organization, and it stings, and it brings back those memories. And glad you get a second chance, even though this is regular season.
Wood delivers 1-2, and Springer takes it inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it will be Justin Verlander, who's such a big part of the Astros' great finish last year and then run to their first World Championship. They're now trying to become the first team to repeat since the Yankees, 98 through 2000. A payoff and a leadoff walk for George Springer. So the reigning World Series MVP is aboard to get this thing started, and here comes Josh Reddick, who did not perform well in his couple of months as a Dodger in 2016, and talked about how he did not particularly enjoy those couple of months. That's why you hear the reaction that you do when he steps in.
Sometimes some things are better left unsaid. I think Josh would like to have those comments back.
Ground ball. Muncy has it. He'll go to second. Back to first. Not in time. Funky looking play, wasn't it?
Well, Springer goes back to first like he's not forced out at second. I don't know why he did that. If that's some kind of deke, you're already out. Don't interfere with the rest of the play. It wasn't a line drive, and he didn't step on first, so you're out. Even though you're back to first safe, you're not even a runner.
There are some plays in baseball games, even when you're somebody who watches them every night, where there's that split second where you're like, wait a minute, what are we missing?
Yeah.
So 1 on 1 out, and the hitter is Alex Bregman. He takes a strike. Since late June, Alex Bregman #1 in baseball in slugging. This has been very needed for the Astros with the injury issues. Correa's been out since June. Altuve's been out for the last week or so. They check down to first and no swing. They're without Brian McCann as on a touchdown. And they were one of the best offenses in baseball over the first couple of months, but about a run per game less since late June. Almost lines up perfectly with when Correa went on the DL. That's inside in ball 2.
Both these lineups can really grind out at bats, and both of them do have depth as far as their rosters and can take a few injuries, but those are some seriously key players for the Astros.
2-2. And then the other key piece that they're without for sure tonight and for most of the series, other than in a pinch hit role, is Evan Gattis. And Gattis is having a huge season. He's their DH, and obviously in a National League ballpark, there is none. And in the hands of Bregman. And the teardrop to second, caught by Chris Taylor. 3 of the top 4 hitters this season out in this series for the Astros.
That is a lot of power right there. Gattis because of the rules in the National League, of course, but the other two are just presence in the lineup that just continually produce and are really hard to get out.
The latest boos are for Yuli Gurriel. And if you're unfamiliar with why, the racist gesture that he made during the World Series that was caught on camera. That's a roller off the middle that Machado ranges to. His flip to second is late, and the inning kept alive. Gurriel was able to play the World Series, suspended 5 games, but that was for the beginning of this season. And somebody that will never get a warm reception around here.
Gets an infield hit right there because of the covering the 6th hole with Machado, and he had a long way to run up the middle to get to that one.
And so a 2-gone J.D. Davis. And it doesn't take long for the injuries and the lack of Gattis to really show itself. When you have 2 on and 2 out, you're 5-hitter up, but it's J.D. Davis. The trickle down of losing those guys showing itself here. A check swing and ball 1. Davis back and forth between the majors and the minors this year. Here's our manager, A.J. Hinch. One ball and one strike. And normally their 5-hitter is Gaddis. Sometimes Reddick. Two on, two out, and Wood to the plate with a 1-1 pitch. After a long pause, here it comes, and it's raked to third. Turner charges to glove it, and that's the inning. Dodgers coming to bat against Justin Verlander after a scoreless top of the first from Alex Wood. Here's the lineup brought to you by 76. Joc Pederson started last night's game with the first of 7 home runs. He hit another later in the night. Machado and Turner to follow. Then it's Grandal, Bellinger, and Kemp. Max Muncy's at first, and Chris Taylor, for just the second time this year, starts at second. Justin Verlander, a little bit more human his last handful of times out, but a full body of work, pretty darn good again.
He has turned back the clock as far as the velocity. It's up a tick again this year. Take it back to his prime when he averaged above 95 miles an hour. That's where he's sitting right now. The breaking ball is very, very good. He's having an exceptional year. You say a little bit down in the last 8 starts, but you know what? He's a tough competitor no matter where he is in the season.
Top third of the majors in several key categories for the 35-year-old out of Virginia in his 14th year in the majors. He starts his night with a fastball that misses away. Pederson hitting .356 in the second half. He pops his pitch foul, and it's 1-1. Verlander's last time out was against Texas over the weekend. Gave up only 2 runs, but 9 hits. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was a season high in hits. It was his shortest outing of the year. Shortest outing since he put on an Astros uniform.
Through this down stretch, he's really struggled with the home run ball. Almost 2 home runs every 9 innings. Fastball's getting hit a little bit more too. Here comes his 1-2. Pederson turns on it down the line,
towards the foul pole. Springer's over. There it goes! A skyscraping shot to open the night. Second night in a row, Joc Pederson begins the game with a bang. The beat goes on after the 7-home-run game last night. Dodgers 1, Astros nothing. Manny Machado takes ball 1.
Lasorda used to say you got to believe, and I think Joc Pederson is starting to make all the Dodger fans believe that the way he is swinging the bat, that he will keep it up. He's becoming a fixture at the top of the order.
Verlander to Machado with a 1-1. And he gets under it. On the infield, it's Marwin Gonzalez for the first out. It brings up Justin Turner, and we look at our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. When he's not in there, the Dodgers this season 2 games below 500. When he is, like he was last night, 29-15.
It's not only the record, they produce more runs when he's in the lineup. Sometimes he doesn't even get hits. It's just his presence and the quality of the at-bats and relieving the pressure on some other guys and putting them in more comfortable positions in the batting order.
Takes a strike at the knees. Verlander pitches 0-1. That's high. A little bit outside. 2-1. On a 2-1 pitch, Turner looks at a strike, and it's 2-2. And he looks like it. Wow. Got him swinging, 2 gone. We look back at Joc Pederson's home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS. This is the highest launch angle on a home run this season for the Dodgers.
45 degrees. That's up there. And then you got to hit it over 100 miles an hour to make sure it gets out of here. That's like what you hit a pop-up.
Now with 2 out, it's Yasmani Grandal. We have Rick Krajewski checking. Yeah, it's the highest for the Dodgers. Is it the highest in the National League or in baseball this year? Strike 1. We're getting a shake of the head.
Is it in the top 20?
Really putting him on the spot here. Breaking ball ends for a strike, and it's 0-2.
He says yes, it's in the top 20.
Getting closer.
Should we keep pressing him?
7th highest launch.
Wow.
Verlander's 0-2 is up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Grandal.
It was on a low end pitch. It wasn't like, he had to get under that and get it out of here. A lot of times with launch angles like that, you'd think the ball would be a little higher.
Grandal down on strikes, and the inning is over, but the Dodgers waste no time getting it started. Joc Pederson, his 3rd home run in the last 2 games, his 2nd leadoff home run in a row. After 1-0. Last 2 games in 1 inning. They lead at 1-0 as we move along to the 2nd, and Marwin Gonzalez comes up. Kind of a similar story for him. He hadn't hit a home run in a long time before he hit 2 in their last game in Seattle. He takes ball 1 in the dirt from Wood. They had a career year last year, 23 home runs. But it has not been close to the same kind of season this time around. Two and up.
Alex Wood really kind of struggling with the fastball and the breaking ball so far. The changeup really bailed him out in the first. This kind of outing so far has really resembled a lot of the outings he's had of late, where he's been effective, but effectively wild. You see him out there struggling, trying to find his rhythm to make his pitches, but he has done a very good job after men get on base with runners in scoring position. Just a very, very good competitor. But as he's searching, he's still figuring out ways to win.
Gonzalez took a few steps towards first on what was called a strike. That competitive bulldog inside him comes out, and that smile that he shoots towards Gonzalez, not a friendly one.
Yeah, you almost want to bark, get back in the box.
Thank you for playing off of my bulldog comment with the word bark. Fly to right center field. Matt Kemp for the first out. Nice listening to Matt Kemp pay tribute to Andre Ethier during the pregame ceremony tonight. Many of you saw here on Sportsnet LA.
He's going to join us here in the booth later in the game. maybe around the 3rd or 4th inning.
A lot of family and friends. His wife Maggie tonight. One gone in the second. Martin Maldonado stands in. Wood delivers. Strike one. 12 seasons in the majors, all of them with the Dodgers. And Coletti pulled off the trade to get him from Oakland for Milton Bradley. And what a career he had here.
A fantastic player, a great teammate, a hard-nosed player, a competitor all the way to the end. Think about all the time at the end of his career that he put into getting healthy just so he could help the team at the very end, maybe September, maybe the playoffs, and was a couple, 3 years of rehab to get back out there, but he put in the effort. Fantastic player throughout his career, 162 home runs. Very strong and accurate arm from the outfield, play all 3 positions, played a little first base. A fantastic career, only to put on a Dodger uniform his whole career.
Woods falling behind 3-1. Really amazing thing. You're talking about the last couple of years for him with the injury issues. Played a total of 38 games in the regular season the last 2 years, and then came back both times in the postseason, working back from those injuries, and not just came back but contributed.
He had a great pulse in the moment. He grinded out in mannerisms you'd see, but his pulse inside, he knew what he was trying to do, and he didn't let the pressure of the moment, the focus on him, the microscope, get to his head.
38 regular season games, 16 postseason games in the final 2 years of his career.
I remember most when the outfield would always look like in the offseason it's getting crowded and his name would be mentioned as he's still going to be here. And you know what? Every year he'd be the guy that would rescue the outfield, that would play center field, or somebody would get hurt and he'd be in there on a daily basis and he'd be the guy in the lineup producing. At times he got counted out and he was the one that was coming through.
Wood issues his second walk of the game. One out base runner for Houston. There's Jake Marisnick. Base hit over a leaping Turner. Marisnick, who homered in his first game back in the majors in their last game, singles on the first pitch tonight, and the Astros have him at first and second with one gone.
Pitcher number 35.
Nice piece of hitting right here, clearing and getting the hands inside, getting enough of it to get it over Justin Turner.
And get Justin Verlander to the plate.
Dodgers look like they're going to employ a very aggressive bunt defense with Verlander at the plate.
Pulls it back, swings away. And Turner and Muncy have their lives flash before their eyes. Justin Verlander, an American League pitcher his entire career. Last had a sacrifice bunt in 2014. Swings again, and it's 0-2.
One of those situations where you swing on the first two and pull it back, and now that with 2 strikes, he probably lays the bunt down, or at least attempts to.
Showing it. Stabbing at it, strike 3. Seen that movie before, huh?
Yeah, because they think, oh, the defense is going to ease up. We'll leave the bunt on. Alex Wood did a very nice job protecting Muncy and Turner. You don't want to just lay it in there when you think maybe he'll pull it back. So throw some pitches with some movement on. So if he does pull it back and swing, maybe he just foul tips it or swings and misses. That protects him even more with the charging.
So back to the top of the order for Springer here with 2 on and 2 out. That was odd. Alex Wood just sprinted Marisnick back to the bag.
I think he noticed that Marisnick was far enough off the bag and wasn't looking at him, so maybe he could get over there. See Marisnick looking out at the runner at second. Maldonado's the one that pointed at him like he's coming to get you.
And Marisnick's got a smile on his face. It's now a couple things in 2 innings where you're looking saying, wait, what are we missing? You don't usually see that.
Springer out on a forced play at second, but dives back into first.
Right. Starts him with a strike. George Springer hit 5 home runs in the World Series last year.
He almost hit 400. I think he hit 379.
Tied Reggie Jackson and Chase Utley for the World Series record with those 5 homers. That was after an American League Championship Series where Springer went 3 for 26. And then game 1 of the World Series, he had 4 strikeouts. Boy, did the tune change as far as what his narrative was for the postseason. You're looking at it saying, man, the Astros are winning despite his struggles. And then they started winning largely because of his power and everything he did over the final 6 games of that series.
He was a very good low ball hitter in that series. It seemed like anytime they threw him a strike down by the knees, he was able to barrel it up.
A ball and 1 strike. George injured his shoulder earlier on this road trip, and so had Wednesday off. And they had a scheduled off day yesterday. When he saw that he wasn't in the lineup on Wednesday, he went into A.J. Hinch's office and started doing jumping jacks, showing him, look, my shoulder's fine. You have full range of motion. But Hinch wasn't buying it. 1 and 2.
It's a healthy cut here. Put some pressure on both shoulders.
Just trying to prove to A.J. again that he's fine. Wood trying to get out of the jam. His 1-2 is banged into center, base hit. Bellinger hustling to cut it off. He kicks it into the gap, and the Astros will take a 2-1 lead. The old nemesis, George Springer, arrives early in this one.
Digs out another low pitch. He's a very good low ball hitter. This one just gets away from Belly as he thinks he gloves it. It rolls up onto his chest. At that time, he's checking the runners of where he's going to throw it in, and he didn't have the ball.
Ruled a double with 1 RBI, and then they have the 2nd run scoring on an error on Bellinger. Strike in the corner to Reddick. A little bit outside this time. Two and 1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
40 pitches with 2 outs in the second. Down by 1. This is not feeling good for Alex right now. He's got to lock in, get in the dugout, get back on track.
Already his 3rd walk. Wood had 3 or more walks only twice in his first 19 starts. That's now 3 straight starts with 3 walks. And they're first and second with 2 gone for Bregman. Strike 1.
Alex had the left-on-left situation with Reddick up. He wasn't looking to walk him at all to get to Bregman, the hottest hitter in the Houston lineup.
On a 1-1 pitch, Alex Bregman watches a fastball miss inside, ball 2.
Bregman chokes up almost all the time. Very good power for a guy that really has a grip like he's a bat control guy.
Two home runs this season. Only in his 2nd full season in the majors. 24 years old, former 2nd overall pick of the draft of LSU. Deuce is wild for Alex Wood here. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 that's ripped to left. Joc Pederson will catch it, and the inning is over. But a 2-run double from George Springer to the bottom of the 2nd. It's 2-1. bricks. Dodgers with that historically good night last night offensively. 21 runs, most ever scored in this ballpark. 7 home runs matched the record. Last time they did it was the 4+1 game in 2006. Welcoming in a team here that has been the best in baseball on the road this year in Houston. Cody Bellinger leads off the second and takes strike 1 from Justin Verlander.
The most impactful one of those home runs might have been Cody Bellinger's. A, it was a grand slam, but B, he really needed it.
One ball and 1 strike. He snapped an 0 for 13. Said he lost sight of the ball. It was that time of night with the hour earlier start time where there was still a bit of a glare. And he was just hoping and praying that it would stay fair. On this 1-1, Bellinger hits it foul left side, and it's 1-2. We look back at it on our Carl's cam.
Long, high, arcing fly ball, and Cody did lose it. Probably in the fly Emirates foul pole. He changed his vision a little bit, but when it hit the pole, he knew what it was.
That sound that those poles bring. Amazing for a hitter. You probably wake up in cold sweats hearing that sound as a pitcher.
Yeah, hitting the foul pole and scraping the back of the wall are the worst 2 things for a pitcher. You're watching your outfielder leap up and have it deflect off of his glove, or the ball down the line and you're just rooting, get foul, and then you hear that clang. Yeah, that's more like it.
Bellinger leading off this second in a 2-1 game. Verlander delivers 1-2 and strikes Bellinger out. The fastball tails in there at 96. Velocity's been back up for Verlander these last couple seasons.
That's 3 in a row for him. 2 swinging, now this one looking. That had some tremendous tail on it.
Couple veterans going at it here as Kemp stands in. Starts him with a breaking pitch for a strike. Another than 2. Matt had last night off. Last 10 days, 1 for his last 27. He's gotten back-to-back sliders to open the AB. Gets another and takes it for ball 1.
That is a very late and sharp slider. That ball looks like a fastball for a long time. Usually when a pitch is this late, the spin on it is very, very tight. Makes it hard to even read that it's going to break.
And down the middle this time. 4 consecutive Ks for Verlander. And 2 away in the second.
It's a hanging slider. Slips out the top of your hand. The pitcher kind of feels a little bit too much ball come off their index finger. That tells them that the pressure was almost in the wrong place. They'd rather get it off their middle finger and get it to bite and stay down.
But 2 gone, it's Muncy. Good to see him start to come out of it last night. Back-to-back doubles in his final 2 at-bats. Done 2 for his previous 32. Yeah, the 2 guys that were the headliners for this Dodger offense during the first half are the 2 guys that find themselves in the deepest slumps right now, in Kemp and Muncy. 1-1. Story was the big surprises. And now it's the big surprises that Muncy and Kemper are slumping just because they had been as good as they were. Verlander deals, and a curve is in for strike two. That's that curveball for a strike more than any pitcher in baseball. Strikes out the side in the second. We roll along to the third. The Astros in front of the Dodgers 2-1.
Scenes as Manny Machado joins his new team in Milwaukee for his Dodgers debut. Plus, Chase Utley says farewell to Philadelphia in his final game at Citizens Bank Park. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, right after the postgame show on Sportsnet LA.
We start the third. Yuli Gurriel takes ball one from Alex Wood. He's already thrown 47 pitches. He's in there with that one, and it's 1-1. In his last start, 5 1/3 shutout innings and gave up just 1 hit. But because he walked 4, was similarly inefficient and only got through that 5 1/3.
His first pitch strikes have been fine, 10 of 13, but after that, after the first pitch strike, he's been about 50% in throwing strikes. He needs to get that up to about 65 or so. Would help his pitch count an awful lot. Get the ball put in play a little bit more.
2-2 on Gurriel. "33-year-old, third season in the majors after defecting from Cuba. He's the son of a Cuban baseball legend, Gurriel is. Guy that was a star player and then a manager of the Cuban national team. And it was the reputation of his family's name that made him kind of hesitant to defect until he did. He figured, hey, I want another challenge. Running out of time. He was 31 years old when he decided to finally do it. He's worked the count full and was at a tournament in the Dominican Republic. Left the team hotel in the middle of the night. It was in February of 2016. Signed a contract 5 months later with the Astros. In the majors a couple of months after that. Now has a brother tearing it up for Toronto.
Very unique batting style. He kind of winds himself up like a top. A lot of hitters separate their hips and their shoulders as they stride. He does it, presets it.
That's foul.
Almost a little bit like Alex Wood when Alex gets from the stretch, the way he really jerks into his separation of hips and shoulders as a pitcher. Gurriel, he does it in his batting stance. A lot of guys turn their back to the pitcher like that. They wouldn't be able to see the ball coming in.
It's a high fly ball to left center field. That sends Joc Pederson back with plenty of room. Taking 9 pitches, but he gets the first out of the third. Well, the Brewers hustled back to Milwaukee after the late night last night. Landed early on in the morning. Played the Rockies tonight and just beat them 5-3 on an Eric Thames walk-off home run against Wade Davis.
That might have just happened because the out-of-town scoreboard in right field still has it 3-2 Rockies.
In fact, it did. Puts the Rockies now 2.5 games behind the Dodgers, who lead the Diamondbacks by 1. Arizona has a 6-3 lead in the third against San Francisco. Cal State Fullerton product J.D. Davis rounded out his first time and has a 1-1 count here. Two balls and 2 strikes. One gone, third inning, 60th pitch of Alex Wood's night coming here. It's a 2-2 to Davis, and it's ball 3. Ground ball past Machado. One out single for J.D. Davis. 4th Astros hit of the night.
3 steps and a dive just out of the reach of Manny Machado. I don't think he gets him even if he gets the glove on it.
Although if anybody has the arm to.
That's true. And you know what? Maybe he'd do it from his knees.
A little flick of the wrist. Amazing how much he tends to get on it. 1 on 1 out. And the hitter is Marwin Gonzalez. First pitch breaking ball to the inside corner. Super utility man Marwin Gonzalez, who tonight starting at second base with Altuve on the disabled list. Times where he'll bring in 5 different gloves and ask A.J. Hinch, which one do I need today? Change up to the bottom of the zone. Gonzalez doesn't like it, but he's in an 0-2 hole. Marwin Gonzalez, the kind of player that each modern day roster needs to function the way that they want to in 2018. Tomahawks this one to left center field, but Bellinger is there. 2 out.
It gets out the Astros Kike Hernandez.
Uh-huh. Two gone, and here's Maldonado. Acquisition made necessary by Brian McCann's injury. Nice pickup for him. Gold Glover last year. Strike one. 31 years old in his 7th year, mostly with the Brewers. Went to the Angels last year. Inside corner, 0-2.
Nice shot right there from Alex Wood. He's been trying to pound these righties in, been pulling it in there. Maybe he's starting to find the range.
Goes back in there, and it's grounded foul.
That's a combination you see a lot from left-handers after the fastball in, trying to get that breaking ball down and under their swing on the next pitch. Looked like a fastball, get him to swing. That one just didn't break enough, but had him out front.
Ball one. Two runs on 3 walks, 4 hits against Wood. And a guy who, when he's at his best, is getting a lot of ground balls. Has only had 2 ground ball outs tonight. Here he comes to the 1-2 pitch. Gets away from Grandal, and Davis advances into scoring position.
A wild pitch right here. You see how far in front of the plate it hits. As Monty tries to keep it in front of himself. Flex gets behind him.
So even more important for Wood to buckle down here. 2 out with a man at second and a 2-1 game in the 3rd. Grandal wanted to wait to be sure that it was safe to give those signs. With a man at second. A 2-2. He strikes him out. Grandal's got to find it. He does. His throw is in time. Alex Wood tiptoeing around trouble. A little bit erratic through 3, trailing 2-1. Baseball is brought to you by the Southern California BMW Centers. Hurry in today for the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Carl's Jr., the tempting El Diablo Thick Burger is returned to Carl's Jr. Pick it up before it's gone. See some of the history. You walk by and you way down to the field at Dodger Stadium as Justin Verlander goes back out there. Gave up a leadoff home run to Joc Pederson tonight. He's retired 6 in a row since. Hit in the last 5 on strikes. And that is strike 1 on Chris Taylor. One and one.
Houston Astros have had great starting pitching all year. They're the only team in Major League Baseball that has used their 5 original starters only.
Some good fortune sprinkled in there. 1 and 2 on Taylor. And 3 just enormous pickups for that rotation over the last 2 years. Charlie Morton before 2017. Verlander at the end of August last year, and then Garrett Cole this offseason. Those 3 guys are all in the top 8 in the American League in ERA. A 1-2.
I think there was a cross up there. Maldonado might have forgot what fingers he put down. I don't know. Or Verlander read the sign wrong. The luckiest guy is Jim Wolf behind the plate, the home plate umpire, that ball wasn't a little bit more center cut. He'd have got it right in the mask.
Maldonado, who is a barber on the side, got a haircut. 2-2 pitch. Taylor pulls his hands in, flexes one into left. Reddick won't get there. Leadoff single for Chris Taylor. So that snaps a string of 6 in a row retired. We're talking about that fastball to Justin Verlander's, the velocity back the last couple of years. He has the #1 spin rate on his fastball in baseball. You see 2.671. 2.640. Those are revolutions per minute, way above the league average. How does that translate to a hitter?
Well, the ball doesn't go down as much as they think it's going to go down when the spin rate is more near the major league average.
Wood bunts it sharply foul.
So visually, baseball is an experiential sport. And visually, when the hitter picks up Verlander's fastball, they anticipate it going down more, but because his ball cuts through the air so much with the 4-seam rotation, it doesn't go down as much as the normal fastball. So it actually has an illusion like it has a little hop at the end or even a little bit of a rise.
Yeah, you hear rising fastball.
But it's their eyes that are anticipating it being lower, and because it's not, it visually looks like it's rising. Now, some guys can make a fastball rise that throw kind of down under it and kind of drop down a little bit and push with their elbow. I can remember somebody like a Sid Fernandez. The ball actually went up.
Strike 2. So yeah, when you're hearing a rising fastball, technically it's not rising, it's just lacking drop.
It's declining less.
Yeah. And we now have the technology to prove that. Wood will try it again, and it's foul. And he's the first out of the inning.
You can even see it affect you when you're bunting. With Alex Wood in his bunt attempts, he's trying to get to the top of the ball. Well, ball's not going down as much, so he's popping it up. I'm glad he slammed that bat into the ground with his right hand and arm. Oh, that one was two-handed.
Second time through the order now. Second time Justin Verlander faces Joc Pederson. Started the game with a home run. Second night in a row, Joc has had a leadoff shot. Here he takes ball one. Joc had that huge run in the World Series. Part of that was against Verlander. He's ahead of him here 2-0. This is a home run. One of the three Pederson hit. And then tonight.
Low end fastball right there. He just golfed out of here.
On a 2-0. Takes a big rip and comes up empty. 2-1. Joc was the first Dodger to hit 3 homers in the World Series since Davey Lopes, 1978. Tied a big league record in a different way in the World Series with an extra base hit in 5 consecutive World Series games. This for a guy who was a surprise to make the postseason rosters. Really gathered some momentum from that run in October that he carried into spring training this year. And it stood for something when he made the opening day roster. On this 2-1, pops it foul.
His performance in the World Series, the playoffs, Kike Hernandez, I think, really made an impression in big games. That Chicago series, what he did. Everybody's like, well, you know, they didn't have a good spring, but management and coaching staff and manager, they look at what you do in the regular season and what you do in the playoffs. Spring training, you're just getting ready.
He's got Taylor at first, and on a 2-2 climbs the ladder and barely stays alive. That high spin rate, rising fastball.
Well, that was an outstanding foul ball. If you can have an outstanding foul ball, we're used to watching Joc Pederson maybe handle balls from the waist and below, swinging through pitches like that, but that's as much of an example of how locked in he is as the home runs are. Two-strike approach against Verlander with only one fielder on the left side. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't cut down on his swing a little bit. Stay on top of something, keep the hands inside, and drive it over to the left side.
Two and two. Breaking ball, flipped to left center field. Jake Marisnick making the call and the catch. Now with 2 out, here comes Machado. Popped up on the infield his first time. With the last 5 games coming in, Machado's reaching all 5 of them, and that on-base streak has been extended, but he's only hitting 176. Seen a little more chase from him on this homestand than on the road trip.
Maybe a little frustration. He's not getting many pitches in the strike zone. We're seeing some swings on balls that are not there, and some big swings. It's been a joy to watch him play on a daily basis, I'll tell you that. He's going to make a big impact on this team.
On an 0-1 pitch, it's a ground ball back to Verlander. Dodgers get a leadoff single from Chris Taylor, but then Verlander sits him down in order. Andre Ethier joins us on the other side of this break. Ball brought to you by T-Mobile. What a night it's been for the Ethier family. Andre Ethier is celebrating his retirement after a 12-year career, all in Dodger blue. Got to take the lineup card out. Getting paraded around. Everybody wants a piece of Andre tonight. We do too, and we're going to get him up here with us. Andre Ethier, congratulations, welcome. I imagine this has been a special night so far.
A very special night. Kind of unexpected. I don't know, I was kind of standoffish about all the pomp and circumstances surrounding, I kind of said in my press, earlier, Lon had been going back and forth, one of the team presidents there for the Dodgers have been going back and forth for the last couple of months trying to get me to come out and do something, bring up old bad memories, but he's like, we need to give you your National League championship ring. I'm like, I don't want that ring. I'm like, he's like, come out and do this. I'm like, no, I'm good. But finally, I just realized, having some closure, not only for myself but my family, of course the fans, and just kind of putting to rest and a good 12 years that I had here, and I guess acknowledging that.
What are you doing with your time right now, and where are you living?
Moved back to Phoenix full time right after the World Series last year. So kids are back in school full time. Took up tennis quite quickly afterwards. Literally, yeah, quickly right afterwards, just to kind of bide my time. I did train all off season like I was going to be playing, this year, and then just saw things that line up and. Started playing a lot more tennis then, and this whole summer enjoyed being Wally from family vacation and driving around the suburban packed up with clothes, and we've been to Montana, Missoula, Montana, went up there, then drove down to Yellowstone, down to Jackson Hole, Park City, the whole thing. Saw. Made our first summer memorable that Dad was home and, not on a baseball field anymore.
Yeah, doing the stuff that you just can't do, right? I mean, it's an amazing career to get to come here and play every night, but that's the stuff you miss out on.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%. And that's the thing I'm very excited and enjoyed every single moment I got to come to Dodger Stadium. But, yeah, you miss out on those things that – are coming, but you don't ever know when, and when they do, it's exciting because you just get to do that with your family and spend that time. And I know my kids wish I could still be out there, and they've said, well, hey, we'd love to have you, we want to see you out there play, Dad. Are you gonna play again? And no, remember, we're going on that vacation, and and that was my distractor, and the way I could detract from I know it's tough on them, and I guess this, like I said, this night was great for us to kind of close that chapter and let them know we're moving on.
2 up and 2 down. What are you going to, and maybe you already know, but what do you feel yourself missing most about putting the uniform on?
I mean, Oral knows it's just you become a creature of habit. Like just coming and doing the same thing, put that uniform on, having the same routine of, putting it on, to going and doing your BP work, to going and getting something to eat, then getting ready to go on the field, have BP, come, everything's just so, habit. You have a way of doing it, and I miss that from the point that what you're going to get every day.
Right.
And that's,
do you miss that discipline? Do you miss that passion in the morning, like getting up with immediate goals?
Well, yeah, and just it's that build up. It's that slow build every day, and then I'm not going to lie, it's addicting. Stepping in that batter's box, 56,000 fans at Dodger Stadium. This stadium just seems a little bit nicer, a little bit brighter, a little bit better playing surface than anywhere you've ever played baseball, and that is something you're definitely miss. I tell people there's nothing like hitting a double or hitting a big home run here at Dodger Stadium, and the place erupts. And if you haven't been on the field and experienced it, I mean, the field really shakes. I mean, I've stood on second base after a big double, and literally you can feel like the ground shaking.
This is the youngest and the happiest I've ever seen you in person. I'm serious, because you are such an intense individual on a daily basis.
Yeah, 100%.
To now see you this relaxed, it's got to feel great, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I go back to, because I would love to go out there, and I always give guys a hard time. If you're getting hits, I could still get hits.
That's right.
I told Kenley, I said, put yourself up on the mound. I guarantee I'll get a hit.
Now Kemp runs this down. Andre, so great to see you. So great to see you happy. Congratulations on an incredible career, and continue to enjoy retirement.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Andre.
Thank you.
Wireless, something to smile about. Dodgers didn't waste any time giving them something to smile about tonight with the leadoff home run from Joc Pederson. And Matt Kemp making sure those smiles continue. It's 2-1. Astros in front on a double from Springer. Not keeping him from smiling ear to ear. 3, 4, and 5 against Justin Verlander here in the fourth as Justin Turner takes a strike. Well, you said it. Sure was good to see Andre Ethier with that smile on his face and that light.
Yeah, there was a glow about him. I mean, I was serious when this is the most I've seen him smile and the most I've seen him relaxed, and he looked younger. He looked great. He's such an intense guy on a daily basis, and I don't blame him because he had a game face just like all of us. But to see the game face removed and see him relaxed, enjoying his family, the time in retirement so far. You could tell when you asked him about tennis. Where he talked about tennis, you could see the game face come back on.
Yeah, competitive fire dripping out of his ears.
Yeah.
0-2. Turner down for the second time on a fastball swinging. Justin Verlander with 7 Ks and 1 away in the 4th.
Number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
Well, you know about Justin Verlander obviously getting traded to the Houston Astros last year, and you probably know that it came after the trade deadline. Came on the final day of August, in the final minutes before the waiver deadline. That is strike 1 on Grandal. The night of the deadline, Al Avila, the GM of the Tigers, didn't think that it was going to happen. Verlander had a full no trade clause. Few teams that he was most likely to pass, they figured, had passed on him. So 0-2 on Grandal. And then at 10:30, 90 minutes left before the deadline, the Astros got a bad start from Colin McHugh, one night after Dallas Keuchel had a bad start. And Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of the Astros, said, all right, I've got to call Al. Picked up the phone, called Al Avila to see what it'd take to pull the deal off. They had 90 minutes to put it together. Took them 45 minutes to come up with a list of prospects that they could agree on. And that left Justin Verlander 45 minutes to decide whether or not to approve the trade, to decide whether or not to go somewhere else for the first time in his career. And knowing Detroit was entering a rebuild, knowing Houston was headed to the postseason with a good chance to go back there in foreseeable future, agreed to waive his no trade rights seconds before midnight, seconds before the deadline. That paperwork came through. And if it didn't, Astros probably aren't world champions. Here's his 1-2 pitch. He's got another strikeout on another fastball.
Celebrate the purple and gold with the boys in blue during Lakers night on Wednesday, August 15th, when the Dodgers close out a 3-game series against the Giants. This special event ticket pack includes your ticket to the game and an exclusive Dodgers-Laker baseball tee. Tickets only available at Dodgers.com/Lakers.
With 2 gone, here's Cody Bellinger. And he takes strike 1. Verlander admitted after the deal that leading up to the deadline, he had recurring dreams watching himself pitch in an Astros uniform. 0-2.
That's interesting.
Well, perhaps it was meant to be. The 35-year-old looking for his 199th career win tonight. His 0-2 pitch. Bellinger smacks it foul. Dodgers had the leadoff homer from Pederson, just 1 base runner since then. A leadoff single from Taylor in the 3rd. Opposite field base hit. So Bellinger, the first guy 3 through 7 in the Dodger order to put it in play tonight.
He's up above the waist, almost letter high. Does a great job shortening up and staying on top of that. Keep the hands up, which keeps the barrel up. Get on top of it, hit a line drive. Nice piece of hitting.
Keep things alive from Matt Kemp. Had the inning gone longer and we gotten a chance to visit with Andre a little more, would have been cool to hear his thoughts about what Kemp's doing. Those 2 guys arrived in the majors a few weeks apart. May of 2006. 1 ball and no strikes.
I hope we can convince Andre to spend some time in the television booth with us, or in pre and post game back in the studio. It's always fun to tap into the guys that have just retired. They really understand the culture. Of course, we do as retired players, but the farther you get away, the generations change of what's going on in the locker room a little bit, what's going on in training, how the game's played on the field, what's the banter like, you know, what's the relationship with the umpires. There's so much that you can get from guys that is just eye-opening.
Is it still cool to say the word jazzed?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Back to last night.
And I think it is, because I got a thumbs up from Krajewski, who's young enough to know.
1-1. Yeah, totally agree. He looked awfully comfortable, sounded awfully comfortable with that headset on.
And I think there's so much to draw out of him because he was a smart ball player, but he was held very things close to the vest as far as how he was grinding things out and what was going on in his mind.
1-2. So a lot of info pent up in there.
Yeah, I think so.
Shared. And he's seen so many different things. He's been so many different things over those 12 years, from the breakout rookie star to the all-star to the guy that kind of got pushed out of his everyday role to fighting through injuries.
There's a lot of experience there.
Kept down swinging. Justin Verlander with 9 strikeouts through 4, and it's 2-1 Houston to the 5th. Brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get huge savings on a reliable new Camry at Toyota's National Clearance Event. Back in Los Angeles, Game 1 of this World Series rematch. And the Astros in front of the Dodgers 2-1. On to the 5th we go. Joe, Oral, and Alana, glad you're with us tonight. Hope you've had a great week. Welcome to your weekend. Reddick, Bregman, Gurriel against Alex Wood. And Josh Reddick looks at ball 1. Native of Georgia, who learned baseball from his dad Kenny, who is a remarkable story. Kenny was a lineman for a power company in Georgia. And a year after Josh was born, there was an accident where Kenny was electrocuted to the point where they pronounced him legally dead for 3 minutes. Paramedics were able to bring him back to life on a shattered bat flare into short center that Justin Turner shifted out there will catch for out number 1. Josh's dad Kenny lost half of his left arm, much of his right hand, but was just happy to be alive. And while he's never been able to get back to work, he devoted his life to raising Josh and coaching him as a baseball player. 1 gone in the 5th. Here's Alex Bregman. Strike one from Wood. One.
It's been different pitches and different innings for Alex Wood. Early on, it was the changeup that kind of carried him. The fastball's been here and there, but lately the pitch that they're swinging and missing at the most is the curveball. The 3 strikeouts are on the curveball.
Let's see, not quite with room. One and two.
For the 8th game of the World Series, this is a tight one.
That was funny. Jason Bateman.
It was a great line.
Pre-game ceremony for Ethier's retirement. And they said, welcome to game 8. And skips by Bregman, but got a piece of him, and Wood loses him on a 1-2 pitch.
Bregman wears a shin pad down there in case he fouls the ball off his foot. I think he needed it on this hit by pitch. Sometimes you'll hear the opposing dugout say, jump rope. Misses the padding, of course. Bregman gets hit once, and Alex Wood hits himself twice.
A glutton for punishment. Gets his oven mitt. One-run game in the 5th. 1 on, 1 out. Yuli Gurriel. It's a ground ball left side. Turner goes across his body to second to get the lead runner. Fantastic play. Second one of this inning for Justin Turner.
One of the more beautiful things about this game is watching fielders make wrong foot throws after charging it and taking it to a base you're not thinking they would go. The Morongo slow-mo cam captures it all, and Justin Turner did it. Wow, spectacular manner. It's so much fun to watch these guys play.
What a great weekend here, huh? 2 of the top teams in baseball going at it. Rematch of the World Series. J.D. Davis takes ball 1. I mentioned it earlier, but the first time that the teams that meet up in the World Series the next season meet up as first place teams. It's obviously there are limited chances for that just because interleague play didn't begin until the mid-90s. But still, in a couple decades of interleague play, only time that's happened. Two-one in the 5th. Wood to Davis. The changeup taken low. Ball 2. Alex Wood due up 3rd next inning. Right in that borderline at 92 pitches. Daniel Hudson. Three and 1. Full count. Gurriel off of first. He'll take off again with a payoff. And they've called a balk on Wood. Well, they initially called a balk, and then the home plate umpire said, nope, I had time. Good job to communicate that quickly. Jim Wolf and DJ Rayburn. Comes another 3-2, and Davis hits a ground ball that Turner stabs. He owns this inning. Halfway home at Dodger Stadium in a 2-1 game.
Justin Turner does it running in. He does it running to his left. The third out is another beauty.
The Astros 2, the Dodgers 1 to the bottom of the 5th. And Max Muncy, who grew up in Texas watching the Houston Astros on TV, leads off this inning against Justin Verlander. Strike one. He'd stand in front of the TV and emulate all the stances and the swings. His dad would flip him a Nerf ball. He'd hit him with a souvenir bat and run around the living room. Favorite guy to emulate. We've talked about it. You can see a little bit of his stance in Max's. The Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell. Behind 0-2. Strikeouts for Justin Verlander. And we look at a bunch of them on our Coors Light refreshing finish.
Well, the fastball has been really working for Verlander. 5 of the strikeouts on that pitch. He's only gotten 1 on the curveball, and that devastating slider, that one was a hanger to Kemp, but he has thrown some really good ones, and 4 of the strikeouts of the 10 have been on the slider. So he's mixing in everything. The curveball seems to be the pitch he's stealing strikes with, but finishing guys off with the slider and the fastball.
Season high is 14. Did that against the Yankees. Chris Taylor lashes into right center, but Marisnik is there.
Alex Wood.
So Dave Roberts sends Alex Wood up there to bat for himself. At 96 pitches. Strike one. And in a one-run game, you figure that means Wood is headed back out there. Dave Roberts chooses not to pinch hit.
Maybe for a hitter or two. Maybe for the inning if he can be real efficient. Bottom of the Houston order.
A switch hitter in Marwin Gonzalez, who is much better as a left-handed hitter. So it looks like Dave Roberts will make sure that he has to hit right-handed. At least that. Bunted foul and strike three. 11 Ks for Justin Verlander. 2-1 after 5. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the Southern California BMW Centers. Hurry in today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Carl's Jr. Astros in front 2-1 and a double from George Springer in the second. And Alex Wood, whose season high is 103 pitches, has thrown 96 tonight. Back out there for the 6th.
Manage your dream team in franchise mode, plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Wood will be out there at least for Marwin Gonzalez. You mentioned it last half inning, but Gonzalez is a switch hitter who struggles much more against left-handed pitching. Daniel Hudson's been getting loose for a while down in the pen. And a few right-handed hitters will follow Gonzalez. He's lined out twice tonight. Strike one. A lot of traffic against Wood over those first 2 innings. That's when all 3 walks came. But just 2 base runners the last 3. Quickly 0-2.
2 best pitching staffs in baseball as far as the ERA is concerned. And Dodgers scored 21 last night, 7 home runs. Verlander has held him to 1, and Wood has done a nice job pitching through that traffic and kind of fighting himself.
Got him promptly. 4th strikeout for Wood tonight. Talking about those pitching staffs. Houston, no surprise. You mentioned 5 starters. That's it that they've used this year. The Dodgers, that's a big surprise that they're #2 in baseball when you consider all the injuries they've had to endure.
Ross Stripling has really picked up the staff. Kenta Maeda, Walker Buehler, and then the 3 lefties have really taken off with Wood and Kershaw and Hill. And don't forget the other lefty, Ryu, that was outstanding at the beginning of the year. He's had a rehab start now. He's going to do another one in Oklahoma City a few more days, but he was up to 91, 92 miles an hour in his stint.
4 innings, and then he went to the bullpen and threw another dozen or so pitches afterwards.
Another guy, Urias, has been clocked at 94.
That one hits Maldonado, second batter that Wood has hit tonight.
Well, Alex is really grinding away in this inning because he'll have a chance to get a W if he can get through this. He'll be the pitcher of record. I doubt he'll go another inning after this one, but if the Dodgers would happen to score a couple next inning, take the lead, Alex would be the pitcher of record.
One on, one out. The 8-hitter Jake Marisnick takes a ball.
You see in the lower right-hand corner, 102 pitches. Alex has thrown a high of 103 this year and been at 100 2 starts ago. Those are the only 2 times this year he's been at the 100 marker over.
Good pitch, 1-1.
So this next one, he'll set his season high as far as pitch count. Over the last few days, Yasmani's had some interesting plays back there. Blocking the ball, trying to snatch it with his glove, trying to find it once it rolls away from him. He's got that new spring-loaded mask that takes away the pressure on your head.
Roller to short, Machado to the hole to field it and start a 6-4-3 double play to allow Alex Wood to get through 6 innings. And now he settles in and hopes the offense can get him off of the hook in a 2-1 game. LA is brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. Bottom 6, 2-1. Talking about Alex Wood's pitch count as that climbed over 100. The pitch count not part of the conversation with Verlander at this point. He's not even thrown his 70th. All while racking up 11 strikeouts over 5 innings.
He's been exceptional, and he's had an exceptional year. 3rd best ERA in the big leagues, and he is lowering that so far here tonight. And the strikeout ball has been working. His stuff has been electric. Even the pitch that Joc Pederson hit as a leadoff home run that put the Dodgers on top in the bottom of the first. It was a pretty good pitch. Low end fastball. He just happened to get the head out and get under it. Other than that, Verlander's been almost perfect.
And it's Joc to lead this inning off. Machado and Turner to follow. The Dodgers with their third look at Justin Verlander tonight. Series that people around baseball have had circled for a long time. One of the marquee interleague series this year. And off to an entertaining start. 2-1 bottom 6. Justin Verlander delivers and Joc Pederson takes ball 1.
Joc almost gets himself into a trance when he gets up there and stares at that bat. Goes to another place. I think that new place that he goes to, the ball must look a lot bigger because he's hitting really well.
Curveball for strike 2. Doubled up on the curve. Tapped in front of the plate. Maldonado, one gone. Gold Glover.
A lot going on in that play. You got the pitcher. Can I call him off? Can I get there in time? Can I get the throw around the runner? And just to throw it accurately. Joc knows he's got a chance. You see the way he's busting it, staying right on the edge and not giving as much room as possible. Maldonado, big boy, but he keeps the body under control, in balance, and an accurate throw.
Manny Machado to the plate, 0 for 2 tonight. Trying to extend that on base streak. Major League best 33 games right now. On the first pitch from Justin Verlander. Takes a fastball away, 1-0. And he does have a home run against Verlander. Both these guys spending almost their entire careers in the American League. On a 1-0. Healthy rip and a miss, 1-1.
Friday night fireworks here at Dodger Stadium. Dodger fans are looking for something to cheer about. A home run here from Manny would light this place up.
He's ahead. 2 balls and a strike. Turner due next. It's the heart of the order where Verlander's really shown his stuff. 3 through 7 in the order. 1 for 10 with 9 Ks. On a 2-1. That is just off of the plate in ball 3. Couple fastballs just missing.
You can smell it as a starting pitcher right here. You know the middle of the order, you know your pitch count, you know the bullpen's right behind you, but right here, it's your game.
Machado fouls off a high fastball, full count.
Verlander smelling it too, that last pitch at 98. There's a rhythm to it. And you can kind of feel it. You've played enough baseball. You've been in these situations, close games, middle of the order. You're on your game. You know they're not coming out. You don't want any help, but you know everything that you've worked for so far, you can lose it all here in this inning.
And a 2-1 game in the 6th. Manny Machado stopped on the mound by Verlander. 2 gone.
That's a very nice play. Hard to understand sometimes where to even put your glove when the ball's hit that hard back to you. You're just kind of reacting.
Like a goalie in hockey.
Exactly. Catch the blur.
2 out for Turner, who has struck out on fastballs both times. Swings through a fastball to 97 here. And this uptick in velocity for Justin Verlander. We've seen 98 in this inning. We've seen him pretty much living at 97. He's only a couple years removed from averaging 93. Dealt with injuries for a while in Detroit. He had surgery to repair some torn core muscles. And I mean, you got torn core muscles. There's no chance you're throwing high 90s. He missed a couple of months with a triceps injury as well. Fully healthy now, and it's showing. He rocks and deals a 1-1. Turner takes low. Two and 2.
You can just see the Dodgers are having trouble just squaring him up. That spin rate we talked about earlier, where they are projecting that the ball's going to end up, and it's not ending up in that exact place that their eyes and their experience has been telling them.
Able to stay alive. 98.
Emergency hack right there. Not in the area where he's looking, but it could be a strike, so he better try and get a piece of it, and he did.
Another 2-2. Full count.
And he has not thrown him a breaking ball to put him away. He's sticking with the heater. Will he try and trick him here 3-2, or will he stay with the gas?
Staying with the fastball and walking it. 99. This is the hardest that he's thrown all year. He's averaging close to 97 miles per hour with the fastball. It's typically set about 95. A couple starts where he's averaged better than 96, but never this close to 97. Inning kept alive for Grandal.
Yasmani, the hottest and most powerful bat in the Dodger lineup. Currently, he has been carrying them.
Strike one. Fastball center cut. Verlander trying to pitch around his first walk of the night. An 0-1 pitch that Grandal cuts on and misses.
Verlander is feeling really froggy with his fastball. As a pitcher, you can tell. You don't even need the radar gun to know when it's feeling good. You can feel it out of your hand. The sound of the catcher's glove comes a little bit early, just a fraction of a second earlier than you're used to, and you go, wow, I really got it tonight.
Oh, 2. The curve. Did he go? No swing. Ball 1. One thing they have done this inning is drive that pitch count up a little bit. Most that he's had to throw in an inning tonight. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. 2-1 in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch. Another curve and another ball. Two. Drops in to get him. He's got it all working tonight. 12 Ks to the 7th. 2-1. Pitches went out there, and then training staff and Dave Roberts came out and took him off, and so now they'll go to the bullpen. It looks like Dylan Floro is going to come in. We'll take a break and be back for the 7th in a moment. Wood leaves. Floro comes on.
Well, Dylan Floro had been warming up, and Dave Roberts sent out Alex Wood to the mound in case they would announce a pinch hitter for Verlander. Then he'd have his choice to have the lefty Wood continue maybe for a batter or to bring in Floro. So they weren't making a move with Verlander, so Dave Roberts saw what they were doing, so he brought in Floro.
Why did Nathan Lucero come then?
I don't know. Maybe a little extra effort to show that we're making a change. He is kind of smiling, though. Little does he know the camera's on him.
He's always got a little smile to him. Good guy, Nate Lucero.
Yep.
Justin Verlander leads off the 7th, takes ball 1 from Floro.
Years and years in the Houston organization.
That's right. Two and 0. Springer and Reddick to follow here in the 7th, and a 2-1 game. Dodgers took a 1-0 lead when Joc Pederson started the night with a home run. The Astros took the lead back with a 2-out, 2-run double from George Springer. Only got credit for 1 RBI. The other one technically scored on an error on Bellinger. Both those runs scored on his double. Pop up on the right side that Chris Taylor settles under for the first out. Speaking of George Springer, here he is, and we look at our top tier play of the game brought to you by Arco. It is that double we're talking about.
He has shown that he can hit the ball hard, especially against the Dodgers. What a World Series he had, and here in the regular season, interleague play was picked up where he left off.
Floro delivers, and George Springer III takes strike 1. His grandpa, George Springer Sr., left Panama when he was a teenager to pursue his dreams of playing pro baseball. Pitched in college. Before he got to the pros, career ended because of arm injuries. Grandpa passed away in 2006, but passed his love for the game on to George Jr., who passed it to George III. Takes strike 2. Guy that everybody around Houston and in that clubhouse just loves. Manager A.J. Hinch says that your day is better when you cross paths with George. A likable, relatable guy. Finds a way to connect with each and every guy in the clubhouse. '28-year-old in his 5th major league season. Shoots a bouncing ball to Max Muncy, and Floro has retired the first 2 in the 7th.
Dodger fans, you can add to your bobblehead collection on Tuesday, August 14th at 7:10 when the boys in blue host the rival Giants. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Rich Hill bobblehead presented by Security Benefit. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
And as the in-stadium host noted tonight when they were promoting that, Rich is a handsome guy, so make sure you come get his bobblehead. Josh Reddick, strike 1. The bobblehead was designed before Rich grew his facial hair. You have to, or maybe it's a chia pet and it will grow.
You can also just get a black Sharpie.
You could
adjust it on your own.
Brown Sharpie with a sprinkle of gray. Sharpie.
Brown Sharpies are hard to find. You usually have to buy the whole rainbow of colors to get the brown one.
Yeah.
If you want to go cheap, just get the black.
The black, right. That one almost clips him. Just got one of the buttons on that jersey as it flew by. You could use the black Sharpie on a Verlander bobblehead if that came. Bobblehead was made on a day where he shaved. Flores 2-1. Sinks to the bottom of the zone, and it's 2-2. Got him swinging. Dylan Floro retires the side in order. We stretch at Dodger Stadium in a 2-1 ball game. Relive the '88 season from the very beginning through unseen footage, untold accounts. The story of the '88 World Series team like you've never heard it before. It'll be after the post-game show on Wednesday. Can't miss it. 2-1 game. It's been a fun one to be at. Tough ticket to score for this series. A rematch of the World Series. It's Cody Bellinger taking ball one from Justin Verlander. The Dodgers finally made him stress a little bit. 22 pitches last inning, his most in an inning tonight. 91 total. Here's his 1-0. Bellinger pulls it to second, and it's caught by Marwin Gonzalez. Twelve Ks tonight, just one walk for Verlander. Dodgers have 3 hits. The leadoff homer from Pederson and singles from Bellinger and Taylor. Here's Kemp.
Verlander has gone over 100 pitches 14 times this year and a high of 122. They might have to get it done against him and him only.
Popped up on the first pitch. Gurriel.
First baseman number 13, Max Muncy.
With 2 out in the 7th inning, up comes Max Muncy. Who, like 3 other Dodger position players tonight, has multiple strikeouts. Perfectly placed fastball, 0-1. Second time tonight Maldonado's been crossed up, and I think he said that one's on me there.
It reminds me of Little League when you first start throwing curveballs to a catcher that's never really caught them.
And they reach up for it.
Yeah, they reach for it. They're just kind of swatting at it like flies.
Machete. Started calling him that when he was growing up because of his ability to cut runners down. Caught the corner, 1-2.
Muncy kind of tilted his head and kind of said, this guy's got good enough stuff. He doesn't need a wide outside corner.
He struck him out twice tonight with a breaking ball in. Went back there to get him a third time. Justin Verlander on 7 pitches retires the side in order. Studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Joe. Baseball sure can be a funny game. 21 runs last night for the Dodgers, just 1 tonight through 7 innings. Net Justin Verlander has been fantastic.
He has been absolutely nasty. This is not Chassin. This is Verlander. It's more than just a spelling.
Still time for the Dodgers to come back and get a win. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, guys, some defensive changes as part of a double switch. Brian Dozier is in at second. That moves Taylor to center, Bellinger to first, and Muncy comes out, having made the final out of the 7th. Hudson on to pitch.
Since the beginning of the June, he has been very consistent for the Dodgers. Over a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Alex Bregman leads it off, chops the first pitch foul.
Been holding hitters under a 200 average, so he's become a component down there that Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt can rely on. It's not going to be a specific 8th inning guy, I don't think, in this Dodger bullpen. Even if they go all the way to win the World Series, I think it's going to be mix and match before Kenley Jansen.
A little bit high, 1-1. They did activate John Axford for tonight. Eric Goodell placed on the disabled list. Axford, the other guy acquired at the deadline, along with Dozier. Axford coming from Toronto. Chopper to short, charging Machado. 1 out. Yuli Gurriel has a larger percentage of his at-bats end on one pitch than any player in baseball. And 2 of his 3 times up there tonight have ended on the first pitch.
He's ahead of his own pace.
He is.
About 20%.
Uh-huh. One for 3 with the first inning single. That misses for Hudson. 1-0. Through with 8 innings in Arizona, Diamondbacks lead the Giants 6-3. Dodgers enter the night with a 1-game advantage. Gurriel checks on Machado. A couple of ground balls, a couple of outs to open the 8th.
Have you noticed that when the Dodgers make the 3rd out, they figure out a way to get the ball back to Manny Machado, and as he runs into the dugout, he's the one that gets to throw the souvenir into the stands. So that's a nice way for a new player to really get the fans to love him. He's the guy who gives away the souvenirs.
That's cool. I hadn't noticed that. I wonder if they'll incorporate Dozier into that.
No, Machado got here first.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's the law of the land.
Snooze, you lose, Brian. Two gone in the 8th inning. J.D. Davis takes strike 1 from Daniel Hudson. Justin Verlander, plenty left in the tank for him. Mentioned he's thrown as many as 123 pitches in a game this year. He's at 97 through 7. Other than 2. 13 strikeouts, 1 shy of his season high. Ball 1. Down the line, foul. Nice snag down there. Calmly.
That tray in front of him, the table, is like almost staying with a bad hop. He stayed with that one really well.
Keeps that one in play, but Matt Kemp does his best impression of that fan in the first row and makes a nice catch. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jim Beam, official bourbon of the LA Dodgers. Visit the new Jim Beam Bourbon Bar at Dodger Stadium. But all about Justin Verlander tonight. 13 strikeouts. Joc Pederson started the night with a home run against him. Since then, the Dodgers are 2 for 23. One of those 2 hits came from this man, Chris Taylor, to start the 8th. And he's got another base hit. Solid single to center to open the 8th for Taylor.
High fastball, does a nice job. Center cut, slightly up, 95, turns it right around.
Bullpen is active.
That was a barrel, Chris. You don't have to do that.
Ryan Dozier. Hector Rondon and Tony Sipp. First one to Dozier. He swings and it's a fly ball to left center field. Who will it be? Marisnick.
He just missed that. He is a good high fastball hitter. Just a tick under it.
Joc Pederson. Three homers in the last 2 games for Joc. Taylor at first, 1 out. 1-run game in the 8th. This is how the night started. It was a promising start after the 21 runs and the 7 home runs last night. Still looking for their first tally since.
Joc is not intimidated by Verlander's velocity. He is crowding the plate.
And taking ball 1.
He's proven he can turn on the inside fastball, so with that ability and that stance, he's taking the outside corner here and almost turning it into the middle of the plate.
Now a curve, low and inside, 2-0.
Shifted around, but still double play depth. For the game, we talked about how the players will remember Game 7 of the World Series. Very easy to get up for this game, get the adrenaline going. Well, very easy for the packed house to get into this game too.
It is a sellout tonight. More than 53,000. 10th sellout of the season. The Astros 2, the Dodgers 1, 8th inning. Verlander to Pederson, 2-0, and he misses with ball 3. After Joc, it's Machado. Takes the green light down the line and foul. 3-1.
This is number 2, just missed, but this one's foul. That is a pretty swing.
still in the driver's seat. 3-1. 3-2.
Usually a guy turns on a fastball 96 in and pulls it foul. A lot of times pitchers go with the off-speed stuff, force the guy to change his timing, plus pick up the break. Verlander with an ego right there saying, let's go strength against strength, big boy.
How good is this? Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate.
Verlander changing the pitch. They were about to throw something. He shook it off before he got on the rubber like, I'm not going to want the original one. And now they can't find it. They can't get on the same page.
Couple cross-ups already tonight. Wanted to be extra sure with a tying run at first. Still having a hard time coming together on that.
He's been predominantly fastballs, and now they can't get to a sign. Is Joc seeing the ball and just hitting it, or is he trying to think along with him? If I was thinking along with him, I would be thinking something off speed.
Best pitch other than the fastball tonight has been the curve, and he's been just as willing to throw it to lefties as he has righties. The 3-2 went with it to get him. 2 gone.
It's really the first time tonight that Verlander's tried to trick somebody, proving that I can throw the fastball and will throw it, but then deciding to go the opposite way.
Tying his season high with 14 strikeouts. That's going to do it for him. A.J. Hinch out to take it from Verlander into the Astros bullpen in a 2-1 game in the 8th. Didn't just tie his season high, tied his career high with those 14 Ks. He's in position to win it, but it'll be up to Hector Rondon to try and save that line. Tyler White's in the game at first. That moves Yuli Gurriel to third. J.D. Davis comes out. And here is Rondon with Taylor at first and Manny Machado coming up.
Rondon comes out of the bullpen with an electric fastball, one of the top 10 fastballs out of the pen in the American League. It's going to average above 97 miles an hour.
Kenley Jansen. Chris Taylor started this inning with a single. Dozier flied to center. Pederson struck out. And now Machado taking ball one. There goes Taylor. Throw down off of Taylor, and it ricochets into left center. He will hang on at second as Maldonado tried to cut him down from his knees.
Love the aggressiveness of Dave Roberts. Turn him loose. One of the top 5 players in baseball at the plate, but you know what? We're still going to play the whole game. This shows the depth of the Dodger lineup now. Machado up, Turner on deck. That doesn't make first base open at all. You've got to pitch through this lineup.
Tries to lay off, but can't. And he's behind 1-2. 0 for 3 tonight. Game on the line. His on base streak on the line. We'll do it again. Taylor has good wheels. Arms in the corners good. The 1-2. Ball 2.
The slider so far from Rondon is not a strike out of his hand. Manny's been able to take that very easily. If he decides to stay with that pitch and tries to throw it for a strike, it might be a hanger. A lot of guys that are pulling it to the left-hand batter's box have the tendency, if they decide to throw him for a strike, to come underneath it. Just sits there in the middle. That's one he could really hit.
What a take. Full count.
That was the best one yet. Take and slider. This is a legit big league pitch.
Down to 3 visits, in case you're wondering. Tying run at second with 2 gone in the 8th inning. What an environment in here tonight. 3-2 to Manny Machado. Fly ball to right field and routine for George Springer. That's that in the 8th. Opening a 3-game series Monday, August 13th. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/tickets. Joe, Oral, and Alana back at Dodger Stadium. It's been a great night here. And the Dodgers are hoping they can come up with a come-from-behind win to finish it with a nice taste in everybody's mouth. Daniel Hudson moved to 1-2-3 8th inning. He'll pitch the top of the ninth. Try to keep it right here.
What a change a night makes. You're playing the Brewers that weren't expected to be in contention. Well, they're near the top. And Houston comes in. But the night before against the Brewers, you're facing 2 position players at the end of the game. One's throwing about 58 miles an hour. And the next night, you got to face Justin Verlander throwing 98.
22 runs to 1 run. 24 hours later, Alan Gonzalez, strike 1. It never misses an opportunity to remind us how weird it is, does it, baseball?
Day to day, every day is a new chapter, a new day. It's a lot of fun.
A ball and a strike. 6 up, 6 down for the Pens so far tonight. Floro in the 7th. Hudson handled the 8th. And now facing 6, 7, and 8. Gonzalez shows bunt with only 1 man on the left side of the infield and then takes it outside. Bounces it right into the defense. There's Brian Dozier. There's the first out. 2 more games in this series. Curveball specialist Lance McCullers tomorrow for the Astros against Kenta Maeda. And then Sunday, we talked about this the other night, but if you like hard fastball, Sunday is the game for you. Garrett Cole and Walker Buehler. One out for Martin Maldonado. Oh for 8 since joining the Astros. He was hit by a pitch. He walked and he scored 1 of the 2 runs. High fly ball to center field, but it's playable. Chris Taylor waits for it to come down, puts it away, 2 gone.
Number 6,
Jake Marisnick to the plate with 2 out. There's no action down in that Astros bullpen, so it looks like Hector Rondon will be the man. Check swing, strike 1. Guy that started the year as the closer for the Astros, Ken Giles, was sent to the minors after he was really ineffective and public blow up on A.J. Hinch. Hinch removed him from one particularly bad outing. And then Giles was traded. So he's now in the Blue Jays system. And that controversial Roberto Osuna trade. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And on the corner for strike 2. Osuna will be eligible to join the Astros on Sunday after serving his 75-game domestic violence suspension. Those suspensions don't bring postseason bans. So the Astros getting him for the stretch run. The 1-2. Hit him.
Right before the pitch, you can see Yasmani kind of elevate his glove, wants the ball up, and Daniel gets it up, but gets underneath it.
Tyler White, who came into the game as part of the double switch when Verlander was taken out, hits for the first time tonight. Turner, Grandal, and Bellinger due up for the Dodgers in the last of the ninth. And the walk-off win a couple nights ago on Grandal's home run. Stirs some more magic tonight. 0-1. Where do you rank this atmosphere tonight? Regular season games here this year.
Number 1 this year.
I agree. Despite not having a whole lot to cheer about. Runner takes off. It gets all the way to the backstop. Marisnik doesn't see it in time for it to matter. Runner in scoring position with 2 out.
You've got to avoid the pain now of 2 out, runner in scoring position, down by 1. This would be a heartbreaking run to give up. Yasmani trying to do a little too much with that to throw the runner out that had a great jump.
Two and 1. Seen a lot of that on this homestand. How much of it is just an inordinate amount of wild pitches, and how much of it is Yasmani being off his game?
I never want to say Yasmani's off his game, but he has been using his glove an awful lot compared to blocking. But right there, he doesn't want to block that pitch. He would love to have got a glove on it and tried to throw him out. He just went for the do or die play.
Cracked his bat. Easy play at short for Machado. Fasten those seatbelts to the bottom of the ninth in Game 1 of the World Series rematch. It's Turner, Grandal, and Bellinger coming up with 1 to tie and 2 to win. Giles this year for Houston. At the final out of the 8th inning, and now has to deal with the teeth of this Dodger lineup in a 2-1 game in the 9th.
It's really hard to find a place in the Dodger lineup where it doesn't have teeth.
That's true.
Traditionally, this is the teeth of the lineup, but this is a long lineup that's been shut down by a great pitcher tonight, Justin Verlander, but he's out of the game, and they still have a chance.
Turner struck out twice against Verlander and then walks. First pitch of the 9th inning. He asked for time, didn't get it. Instead, strike one. Turner wanted something to move. Looking out towards the center field wall. Now in an 0-1 hole. That's outside, and it's 1-1.
Umpire's moving. And Holbrook out there at second, walking around.
And now he's talking to Marwin Gonzalez.
Gonzalez was moving on the last pitch back and forth. Now he's moving again.
Fly ball to right field. Springer started back. Now on for the first out. It's odd. I mean, there's nothing that says a fielder can't move.
If the fielder's moving, then the umpire wants to move to get to his position because he wants to be on one angle or the other for his call at second base. But that would be a new form of gamesmanship to put a player right behind the pitcher's throwing arm and have him moving back and forth, kind of jogging around back there.
Grandal, the hero the other night, takes ball one.
Players will find their own way to deal with that if that starts to happen.
I catch your drift. 1-1.
The guy doing it would have to loosen up his loafers a little bit in the batter's box. He might get some payback.
Rondon to Grandal with a 1-1. Strike two, touching 98 with that heater.
Same velocity as Verlander, but different because it's a fastball that pretty much stays on the same plane. For Verlander, we talked about the spin rate and how it doesn't decline very much.
2 out.
Rondon's fastball pretty much thrown from that low 3/4 angle. And all of a sudden, that one's the slider, but the fastball will stay pretty much on the same plane. You might be able to square one up.
Up to Cody Bellinger, who followed his 2-hit night last night, which included the grand slam. He's followed that with a 1 for 3. On the first one from Rondon, he takes strike one. Don't often get that call when you block it as a catcher. But Jim Wolf recognized it as a strike. 6:10 tomorrow night. McCullers against Maeda in game 2. No swing. 1-1. He'll take it.
Dodgers caught a break on that one.
Well, it evens out, and it's 1-2. They're down to their final strike.
If it was a strike, it was a glancing blow.
Two and two. Maldonado tried to frame that thing at the bottom of the zone. We'll do it again. Cody Bellinger feeling more like himself the last few days. First home run in a month yesterday. 2-1 ninth inning. 2-2 pitch.
Cody trying to find a way to get on. With his wheels, he can score from first on a double. Especially with 2 outs. At the crack of the bat, he'd be moving. Doesn't necessarily have to try and hit a home run.
Next pitch would be the 8th. Rondon to Bellinger. With another 2-2. Struck him out looking, and the game is over. The Astros 2, the Dodgers 1 in game 1 of this weekend series.
Borderline low, but it's a strike, and it's 98, and that is a very hard pitch to read.
Player of the game is Justin Verlander, brought to you by Lexus. Matches a career high with 14 strikeouts, and after allowing the leadoff home run to Joc Pederson, nothing else.
They only got 3 more hits after that in the whole game, but Verlander was the man tonight with the velocity, the location, and the break. The fastball got a lot of strikeouts, and so did the slider.
Game 2 of the series tomorrow night at 6:10. McCullers in Maeda. Oral Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.